This podcast is part of the Big Heads Media Podcast Network. Go to bigheadsmedia.com for more great podcasts.
Hey guys, welcome to the Faves of Our Lives. I'm Kelly, and your other host is Brittany.
Hey everyone.
Today we have a special guest who is a beautiful tropical fish, Belinda.
Hi everyone. You're funny.
Today's episode is going to be K-Razzie, literally the best. So treat yourself with a shot of snake juice while we talk Parks and Rec.
Okay, that was an amazing intro. Good job.
That was awesome.
All right, we're talking about Parks and Rec. It premiered April 9th, 2009, ran for 7 seasons and 125 episodes. It starred Amy Poehler as Leslie Knope, Rashida Jones as Ann Perkins, Aziz Ansari as Tom Haverford, Nick Offerman as Ron Swanson, Aubrey Plaza as April Ludgate, Chris Pratt as Andy Dwyer, Adam Scott as Ben Wyatt, Rob Lowe as Chris Traeger, and Retta as Donna Meagle. It was quite the ensemble cast. That was a mouthful.
Yeah, I love how Retta doesn't even have a last name.
I know.
She's
like Cher.
She's that cool.
Yeah. The show is about the absurd antics of an Indiana town's public officials as they pursue sundry projects to make their city a better place. The first episode we're talking about is Galentine's Day from Season 2, Episode 16. This is a fan pick episode.
Okay, I don't know if you guys saw the intro about Galentine's Day. It was really, I love Leslie, but that one right there just stressed me out. She just gave all of her women friends, very, very thoughtful gifts, like a bouquet of hand-crochet flower pens, a portrait of each of the ladies made from the bottom of each of their, favorite soda, Crush, their bottle kind.
Mm-hmm.
And a 5,000-word essay about each of them and how awesome they are. Where do you get that time to do all this for all that? This is just ridiculous. So she stressed me out, but I love her, though.
Yeah, and also, I love you guys, but a 5,000-word essay, you're not going to be getting that from me anytime.
I don't know that many words.
Me either.
Right. Only Leslie.
Yeah. I said I loved April's face in this scene when she holds up that portrait of herself.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like her gaze is supposed to kind of compare to Jim's in The Office. It's a different type, but she does a lot of those looks into the camera.
Yeah, I feel like I do a lot of those looks at work.
Oh, yeah.
You do.
I can't help it. It's just my face.
She has, a very, apathetic, personality. So I feel but she portrays it really good, though. I like it.
She does.
It's what everybody's face wants to do when somebody does something like that, but nobody really does it, expresses it that way because, we don't want to be rude, but she doesn't care.
Right. So the episode starts with Leslie having this dinner with all of her female friends, and I love the concept of it. You're right, Belinda, it's kind of weird, but I like the idea of it. Just ladies getting together and empowering each other.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So it goes into Leslie's mom is there, and she is encouraging her mom to tell the story about how she fell in love with this lifeguard, and he saved her, and the two had to break it off because Marlene's parents didn't like him. It basically sounds like the plot of Dirty Dancing. And as she's telling this story, Donna is really into it.
Leslie's really into it too.
Oh yeah, she gasps, and Anne's like, "Don't you know this story?
Haven't you heard this before?"
It's for dramatic effect.
I love Leslie, too, that she knew every single phrase that her mom was going to say and how she acted it. She's a great actress. I was like, oh my gosh, she's so funny.
Yeah, she was mouthing the story along with her mom.
Mm-hmm. And I liked the intro to the story, which, Belinda, you wrote that down in your notes, too.
Oh, yeah, she said, I like how Leslie says that this story makes the Notebook look like Saw 3. Looked like Saw 5, sorry.
Yeah, I thought
like,
that was
what the
hilarious.
heck? I know.
And then, Brittany, did you catch the part where he says to her, "Are you okay?"
I definitely got that part. Yeah. That's something I'm always listening for now, Kelly.
Yeah, me too.
It's like your tagline.
I'm just very concerned about people.
Yes.
Yeah. You're like our mother.
Right.
Yeah.
Even though I'm older than both of you. I need someone to take care of me.
I think Kelly's the youngest.
Yeah, I am like
Right?
a month younger than Belinda.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, do you see?
Yeah. Leslie goes back to the Parks and Rec department office, and she's having this discussion with Justin, her boyfriend, about this story. Really, she's saying it to the entire group of people. She's retelling this story, and he's really excited about it. He thinks that they should get these two back together again, so he's going to go on this expedition to find this guy to reunite them, and Leslie tells him, "Okay, but if he turns out to be a ventriloquist or something, abort the mission."
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
If he's a creep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anybody that thinks dolls are real people.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I forgot to mention this, but I did not know that this Justin guy, his real name is actually Justin Thoreau, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And he was married to Jennifer Aniston.
Yes.
What?
Right? Did they like break up? I'm pretty sure they did.
I think that they did end up divorcing.
Okay.
But at this time, he was dating her, and that's what, I don't know if you caught it, but
I
later
did.
on in the episode,
Uh-huh.
she says something about Jennifer Aniston and
Brad Pitt. Yep, that's right. I did catch that. I was like, wait, what?
She says, "Watch out for John Mayer."
Yeah.
Yeah. Jen, I just want you to be happy.
Yeah. Leslie.
But also, before she leaves that group of people, something prompts her, and she says to them, "You're all terrible at love."
Oh, yes. That was awesome. And she pinpoints everybody, and yeah, everybody has been in a sucky relationship. But then she brings up Jerry. And then he's like, well, basically she didn't care for him. And he says something like, "I've been happily married for like so many years." And yeah, he's probably the only one that's in a good relationship, and she just doesn't care.
Yeah, he says something like, "I've been in a relationship for 23 years. And she
Yeah.
said, "Shut up, Jerry."
I feel bad for him, kind of, but it's hilarious that they always pick on him.
I feel like the whole show, I feel bad for him. Like, how they bully him, that's way too much.
Yeah, there was another episode that I watched. I don't think that it was one of these, but they were going to their annual Jerry dinner.
Oh, it was.
It was.
It was one of these?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I didn't write notes for that one then. Okay, I'll wait till we get there.
Yeah, and Tom is having this romantic get-together with his wife, who, it's a marriage for convenience. Like, so he can stay in the country or something, isn't it?
I think it's for her to stay in the country.
Oh, it's for her to
Yeah,
stay in the country.
he's from
Okay.
here.
Oh,
the
that's
US.
right, because he's from South Carolina.
Yes, you would never
Okay.
think that, but yeah.
Yeah, okay.
He is in real life, too.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Huh. And she's from Canada, right? She wants to stay in this country, so, like, they fake this marriage.
Yeah, I can't remember. I love this show, but I've not seen every episode.
Okay.
So,
I have, but it's been a while.
yeah.
Yeah, me too.
So he wants to basically make this relationship real. And he has a bottle of champagne that he says is from Jay-Z's collection. And he pours 2 glasses, and he's basically saying he wants to be more than friends. And she turns him down. And she leaves. He seems heartbroken. And he pours the champagne back into the bottle.
Well, obviously, he's not going to waste it.
Yeah.
It's probably pretty expensive if Jay-Z drinks it.
Yeah, especially if coming from Tom.
Yeah.
He is high maintenance. There's even a day for treat yourself.
Right.
An episode, and they just spend so much money. Yeah, I can see Tom spending that much money.
And she says something like, well, Jay-Z doesn't have to perform surgery in an hour or something. He's like, you don't know Jay-Z's schedule.
Oh, Tom. He's funny.
Yeah, I did say, though, like, at first I thought that Tom was actually kind of sweet in this scene, but he goes to creepy real quick. Because he says something about, yeah, we're great friends. Imagine how good of friends we could be if we were doing it.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that, yep.
So while Justin is off looking for this guy, Mark and Anne are seeing each other currently, and he apparently has never had a Valentine's Day with a woman, and so he gets Anne all of these really cliche gifts, which I think it's kind of cute, but it's also really overboard, and it kind of creeped me out too.
Yeah. Do you know who that actor is?
No.
I don't either, but he looks like a generic Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, he does.
A little bit.
It's like they couldn't get Paul Rudd, and they were like, "Oh, you'll do."
Yeah. I think that actor, they had to get rid of him because they could not find any more lines for him. Like, they tried. I read the editors, the writers. They try to like give him good lines, but they could not find anything to do with him. So they had to let him go. Yeah, because I don't find him very funny, to be honest. I mean,
No.
Yeah, he wasn't my favorite.
oh yeah.
He's just kind of like a background character.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the storyline around him in the beginning was funny. He
Yeah,
wasn't
I
necessarily
agree.
funny, but
Yeah.
yeah, they knew that he wasn't going to stay the entire time, but he actually left sooner than what they thought when they brought in
Ben Wyatt.
Ben and Chris. When they brought in Ben
Oh,
and
got
Chris,
it,
they
yes.
didn't have any more room for him, basically.
I read too that the writers, they were thinking the same thing about Andy Dwyer.
Oh yeah.
They were planning on, getting rid of him. They're just gonna use him for a few episodes, but they liked him too much that they kept him.
I'm sure they're glad they kept him because
Oh yeah, he's ridiculous.
now he's a really big deal.
Oh yeah, now he's Star-Lord.
Yeah. And Owen something on Jurassic Park.
Yes, that's right.
Owen Grady? Maybe?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not very confident on that name.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of the Guardians of the Galaxies, but I do like the Jurassic Worlds.
Yeah.
Guardian of the Galaxy, I only saw the first one, but it is hilarious.
Oh yeah, I think that's one. Yeah, that I would recommend to watch.
Yeah. It's not that I don't like them, it's that there are so many Marvel movies that I cannot keep up.
Yeah, but I just pick and choose which ones I want to watch.
Yeah.
I don't know, I gave up.
Is Glass, is that Marvel?
Yes, I think so.
Glass. I don't know.
Yeah,
about
so
Glass.
I've only seen Split and Glass and Guardians of the
Well,
Galaxy.
I don't know if it is or not. I know M. Night Shyamalan did those.
Okay, so maybe it's not, but it has that feeling to it, so
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think you would like Guardians of the Galaxy. The first one and the second. I think there's a third one coming up too.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's this
Probably.
year. Yeah.
So, meanwhile, there are a bunch of different storylines going on at one time. Andy is going to play for this Valentine's dance that the Parks Department is putting on. And he's really upset because he wants to play Mouserat songs, like one that he entitled Sex Hair, that's about how your hair looks after you have sex.
Yeah.
But
Ridiculous.
instead, Leslie is making him sing old jazz-type songs. He's really upset about it. But at the dance, they actually do pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny because after he's done, an old lady comes and tells him like he did really good or something, and then he felt really good because the old lady's version of flashing boobs at him. Really handy. It's just funny.
Yeah.
Also, I liked when they were practicing at this shoe shine station, and Kyle was like, "Hey, Andy, are you gonna shine my shoes? Like, I've been sitting here for 3 hours." And he's like, "Kyle, I'm gonna lose my shit on you if you ask me one more time." And then I think that comes up again in another episode.
Oh yeah, he for some reason he despises Kyle. I don't know. I feel like I've watched all the episodes and I can't find a reason why.
Well, probably because who needs their shoes shined that often?
I
Yeah,
don't know. I
Get
can't
a life,
believe that
Kyle.
that's even still a thing.
yeah, I agree. I guess in Pawnee it is.
I guess.
I guess.
So Justin finds this guy. His name is Frank Beckerson. And he and Leslie decide to drive to Illinois and... Oh, wait a second. They find Frank Beckerson. He and Leslie go to his house, and they have this conversation with him. Leslie is kind of vetting him a little bit to see if he's an acceptable match for her mom. I don't know. I think that she thinks he's kind of endearing. He might be a little weird, but he still seems like a good guy. I got the vibe right away that they needed to just leave.
Yeah. Did you notice any of the chalkboards, what they said in his house in the background? I tried to pause it and read the other ones, and I couldn't read them. But the one that I could read just said, "Find the parrot." So... The other ones I couldn't read, but I'm sure they were hilarious.
Yeah.
But I don't know what they said.
Yeah, so they decide to drive back to Illinois to reunite he and Marlene on Valentine's Day. And on the way to Illinois, that's when you can see Leslie really start to think, okay, this guy's weird. He's like gagging in the back seat. He uses her purse to hyperventilate in. It's really weird.
Yeah, I felt bad for this guy when I heard, that he was telling Marlene that after college he went to a grocery store and that's all he did, I think, and now he's unemployed.
Right.
Yeah, and apparently he lost his parrot.
Yeah, that's right. Add that to the mix. Poor guy.
It probably flew away because he couldn't even afford crackers.
Aww.
So they get to the dance, and this is where Leslie is telling Justin, I don't have a good feeling about this. We should call this off. She's basically going to call her mom and tell her, never mind, meet at a coffee shop somewhere. Her mom shows up, though, so she tries that in person, and Frank walks up behind them. Marlene turns around and is completely taken by the fact that this guy is standing there after all of these years. So she goes off to dance with him, and he is really, he immediately wants to get back together, and she is a reasonable woman. So she tells him, it was nice all those years ago, but, that's not really what this is about. And he just loses it.
Oh, yeah. And he went up to stage, and for a second when he was on the stage saying, this is what you're going to miss or something like that, I, for a second, thought that he was going to pull his pants down. And no, I'm not even kidding.
I thought he was going to propose.
No. Well, yeah, I guess.
So I guess we all had different thoughts on what would happen.
Yeah.
It was some type of proposal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tom's wife also shows up at the dance, and it's because Tom has decided to sue her because he has become accustomed to a certain lifestyle. So, in the divorce, he is wanting her to pay alimony, basically. But he feels bad pretty quickly.
He's just doing it as blackmail.
Right, which is not okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she even says, so you're gonna blackmail me? Because that's gonna make me love you?
Right.
That's right, yeah.
It's hard because I like Tom, but he is a problematic character.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like him too.
I think that's why, that's on purpose. He's supposed to be a complicated character. You think he's funny. It's kind of like a Michael Scott situation.
Yeah, it's kind of like an idiot, but...
Right.
I don't know, yeah.
It seems like a common theme in all these shows we talk about is we always like the people that aren't the greatest people.
Yeah, because they're... What's the word? I don't know. They're complicated. We'll just say that.
They're complicated and they're kind of relatable, I guess, on some level.
Right.
That's
it's
right.
like we all love Leslie, but she's not a realistic person.
That's right, yeah.
No.
Right.
I don't know. I could kind of see Belinda as a Leslie.
No.
Yeah, because
I don't go overboard.
You're like, women are going to rule this world, and that's how Leslie is.
Yeah.
Well, I have that part of Leslie, but I'm not like her. I'm going to get you guys 5,000 essays. No, I mean, come on.
I'm just saying on just a little bit like her.
Just a little bit. Okay.
We'll just say that Leslie Knope is an exaggerated version of you.
Okay.
I just, like, I could see Belinda, like, doing something, like,
That's like a compliment, actually.
wanting
Yeah.
to be president
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah. Well, I can't be of this country.
I know you can't be, but I'm saying if the laws were different, you could be. You have the ambition.
Yeah. Probably, yeah. Because I know Leslie, she's a very ambitious woman.
Right.
Yeah.
And you probably have, like, Michelle Obama and Hillary Clinton framed on your walls.
Well, I don't, but... But
You're
yeah.
probably more qualified than a lot of our American politicians.
You're probably
Oh,
more
my.
qualified than our current president right now. Just saying.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm whispering that because I'm, like, patriotic, but also, you know.
Realistic.
Yeah.
You know, yep, me too. You have to be realistic.
Yeah. Okay. If you have any hate mail for this episode, send it to our intern Mark.
Yeah.
He handles all of our hate mail.
No.
Did he agree to be our intern?
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Well, then just send it to him.
I'll get you guys the email later. It'll be internmark@gmail.com.
Yeah. internmark@gmail.com. That's probably taken. It'll probably have to be
Probably.
like internmark1234.
We'll get it out there to you guys. Send all of your hate mail there.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure if you send him hate mail, he's gonna be really happy to respond to that.
Yeah, you're gonna get some sass.
It's gonna be a really pleasant response.
They'll get the love from him.
Right. I also liked how when Andy is performing, Anne's standing there and April walks up and she asks him to sing The Way You Look Tonight. And he does a really good version. He dedicates it to April. She is quite taken by it. And I loved the faces that she keeps making at Anne the entire time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And Anne's like, are you guys like, and April's like, what does it matter to you?
Right.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know why, because I like Anne, but I love how much April hates her.
Yeah. Like, I like Anne too, but in any kind of thing where it's like the ex and the new girlfriend, like, even if they weren't right for each other, it's still gonna be complicated like that.
Right.
Yeah.
There's an episode later on where April goes to Anne for help with her relationship with Andy, and Anne is giving her good advice, and April makes some kind of sarcastic comment and says, I'm trying to help you, and she says, I know, it's just really hard to be nice to you.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. April, she's just different.
Yeah.
But she's just sarcastic too. She's just like a goth-like.
She's probably not jealous, but kind of like Andy's
yeah.
a lot better with with April than he was with Anne. Like when he was with
Yeah.
Anne, it was like he had no responsibilities at all.
Yeah.
He was like a child.
That's
Right.
right. Like Anne was his mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he kind of matures by the time him and April get together.
Well, kinda.
Kind of.
But that's why they work so well together, because April is immature as well.
That's
Right.
true.
So they complement each other.
That's true. They're funny with each other, though. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like Andy loves all of her sarcastic remarks that she makes towards everybody and makes fun of everybody, and he's just cool with it, you know. And then he comes out with something idiotic, and she's just like, whatever, you know. That's my husband.
Yeah, she
I like
loves
them
it.
both. Yeah.
Yeah, so Leslie sits down and she's talking to Ron about Justin and how she doesn't understand why he kept pushing this thing between her mom and Frank when she was saying that she didn't want that to happen. And Ron gives her some pretty good advice. He says something really sweet to her. He says, he's selfish and you're not, and that's why you don't like him. And it's true.
Yeah. That is
Yeah,
true.
that is true.
Yeah, because he put his own, you know, personal benefits on top of everybody else's. And he just loves to, like, tell people and entertain people with these stories, and
Yep.
he doesn't really care how other people feel. That's definitely very selfish, just like Duke Silver said.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that these two old women walk up and they recognize Ron as a jazz saxophonist, Duke Silver, and he's like, that's not who I am.
Yeah.
But in a later episode that we discuss, you find out it is indeed who he is.
Yep, that's right. Duke Silver. I like that character. It's like his alter ego or something.
But I said, basically throughout this whole episode, the only men who were not problematic were Ron and Andy. It seemed like the people who were in relationships, legitimate relationships, they were kind of creepy or over the top.
Oh, yeah. Well, Ben Wyatt, he wasn't like that, was he? He
No,
was
but...
with Leslie? Or you mean from, like, the beginning?
Right, in this episode specifically.
Oh, okay, got it. Okay.
Because you had Justin, who kept pushing something even though Leslie didn't want to do it. You had Tom, who was blackmailing his wife into loving him or having sex with him. And then you had Mark, who was just constantly asking for validation the entire episode.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and then the
Good
whole
point.
April situation
Right.
with those two guys.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I
That was
totally forgot
ridiculous.
about that.
Yeah.
April dating the two gay men. That's so weird.
Yeah.
What, was she dating both of them or just the one?
Just the one, but
Right?
then he
Okay.
had a boyfriend.
I know.
So then she was like breaking up with him or something, and he was like, so he said something, and she said, fine, I'll just talk to whoever. And he's like, no, that's my boyfriend. If you don't have me, you can't have either of us.
Right. I also, you know, it all comes back around. We keep talking about The Office, but they're making fun of the senior citizens the whole night, and she says it's not funny, and he says, old people are funny. Haven't you ever seen The Golden Girls?
Oh, my God.
When she says that she has to go there, and they're like, oh, we'll come, and she's like, are you for real? And he's like, yeah, it's like the Golden Girls. Because they were trying to get her to go somewhere, and they were like, yeah, we can get you a drink bracelet. So apparently she's not of age.
I don't think she is.
Yeah.
I think she's 20 at this point.
Oh,
But-
20? Oh, yes. You're right.
Yeah.
I was watching some clips, like the funniest moments, and there was one, I forget what it was, but she was like, I'm 47 and he's 30 something.
Yeah.
You're
Like,
right.
yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, right, April.
And that pretty much sums up the entire episode. And the next episode that we're going to be talking about is another fan pick. It's called The Fight from Season 3, Episode 13. And this episode is also known as the Snake Juice episode.
Ooh.
I had another note about the other episode.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry to
No.
go backwards, but I wrote, why is Justin's car so dirty
I
on
know.
the outside?
I saw that.
It was really bad.
Just to make it realistic?
I guess. I don't know.
I want so bad to go and clean as well.
I didn't even notice that.
It was really bad.
Yeah. And this episode stressed me out because I saw snow everywhere. It's like, it just brought me back to winter. I'm like, no.
Yeah, Belinda's from El Salvador. She's not used to it.
Yeah.
She doesn't even like the summer. It's too chilly.
Yeah, that's right. Has to be in the 80s for me to enjoy it. It's okay, though. I'm getting used to it, little by little.
So the Snake Juice episode is about Leslie trying to get Anne a job at the Parks Department. Anne is a little bit hesitant about taking the job. And Tom is trying to start this new brand called Snake Juice. It's basically like a coffee alcohol hybrid. And he's trying to get everybody to come to the Snake Lounge and help him promote it.
If they don't go, then they're on his Dunzo list.
Dunzo.
Oh, yeah.
I love that entire scene. You want to come to my house and play video games? Dunzo.
I love Tom's entrepreneurial spirit, though. I feel like he wants something better for himself, you know?
Yeah.
So he's trying.
And later on, I think Andy says something to April like, we gotta get to that meeting. I don't want to end up on that Dunzo list.
Yeah, I love that line. So Chris basically tells Leslie that there is a position open in the health department. So Anne would be working in the same building as Leslie, and they're having some issues getting together and having their conversations. And we all know how Leslie feels about Anne. So she's wanting Anne to get this job so that they're closer. And she brings it up to Anne, and Anne's like, but I'm a nurse. And I like what I do, and I don't really know that I want to leave it. But Leslie is pretty adamant, and she hands her, all of these books that she needs to study to get through this interview. And she gave her some type of coffee or something to help her stay up, because it was going to take her all night.
I think she gave her, a big binder, too.
Yeah.
Of information of something. Yep. It's like, dang.
Yeah, it was like a whole milk crate on wheels full of binders and books.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, so, I'm kind of with Anne here. That's a little overwhelming.
Yes. She expects too much from anybody.
Right.
And then she also gave her a book that was just like, I just want you to read this because I'm reading it and I want to talk to you about it.
Oh, yeah.
Right, yeah.
An extra one right there.
Yeah.
That's what I did with you with Game of Thrones.
I know, and I don't even want to talk about it.
I'm sorry, I won't bring it up. The show was spoiled today for Kelly, and she's really pissed.
Okay, because I keep seeing that I'm not going to spoil it for anybody else. So if you're listening right now, you can keep listening. There's not going to be a spoiler right now. But I thought that it was the headline about Kit Harington going to rehab for being stressed out or whatever, because I've seen that a million times.
Right.
So my eyes kept reading it, and it was a spoiler, and I got really, really, really mad about it.
Oh, no.
I'm still gonna watch it, but I'm really upset with social media because I've done so good. It's been 2 weeks since the finale.
Yeah.
Or something, and I've been doing so good, scrolling fast, and no, it got me.
That's how it is.
Yep.
You can't be on anything.
And I don't even think it was a person that reposted it. I think it was just an ad.
Oh, no.
For an article or something,
right.
A sponsored post. And yeah, I was really upset about it. But anyway.
Well, Mary and I had watched an episode early in this last season, and we had just finished it. And I came downstairs and was on Yahoo, and one of the headlines said something about one of the characters dying. It was in the headline.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's the same thing with this. I didn't click on it or anything. It was in the headline. And
they shouldn't do that.
I should have trusted my gut and stayed away from social media, but you know how hard that is.
Yeah, it is. Especially when you're running a podcast.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would hate that too. If somebody would just spoil it for me.
I'm still going to watch it, though.
Okay. Just think it's something different.
Have you watched it, Belinda?
No, I have not. But I would have been really mad if somebody had spoiled, for example, the Avengers Endgame for me. I would have been really
mad. Oh, yeah.
But it didn't happen, so.
Yeah, and I feel like fans are getting better and better about it.
Oh, yeah.
And they're not sharing stuff.
How I Met Your Mother, I avoided that for 2 years and never saw a spoiler on social media.
Yep.
I just had Chad going, if you make me mad, I'll tell you how it ends.
Oh, no.
You're stupid. He wouldn't have. He's not that mean.
Okay.
He knew that I was avoiding it because I loved that show so much. I didn't want it to end.
Yeah.
So Tom is telling everybody they have to go to the Snake Hole Lounge. April really doesn't want to go, but Andy convinces her because they're going to role play, and he's going to go as FBI agent Burt Macklin, and April.
Yep.
Oh, April is going to go as an aristocratic widow with a dark secret. And she is so funny in this episode.
She is.
Her name is Janet Snakehole.
Yeah.
I like his FBI agent character too, Burt Macklin. It always comes up occasionally in the and Johnny Karate. Both of those.
Johnny Karate is my favorite.
I know, it's so awesome.
So they're all at the Snake Hole Lounge. Leslie walks in first, and I love when she walks in, she's like, "What, snake juice here?" That's great.
VIP.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
She was, not flying under the radar there.
She's helping out Tom, so that's good.
Right. And so, like, she's talking to them about Anne and how she's going to be pulling an all-nighter, and they were like, yeah, all night here, because she's sitting right there. And she is sitting there, she's on a date with a local radio host called The Douche.
I know. It's that, oh my gosh, that guy. I feel like there's, like, no better character than that guy to be called a douche.
Yeah.
He's literally a douche in that show.
Yes, he is. So this causes a huge fight between Leslie and Anne, because then Leslie finds out that Anne is questioning this job, and Leslie is like, no, you need this job. Anne is telling her to back off. She's there to have a good time. And then they start getting into arguments about each other's relationships, because Anne doesn't date anybody seriously, and Anne thinks that Leslie is moving too slow with Ben. And it just turns into this big blow-up fight, because they are obviously both drunk on this snake juice. I don't know what is in snake juice, but it's strong.
Yeah, it's crazy how drunk they get. Like, all their faces. I was even shocked that Ron got drunk. Like, he never gets drunk at all. Like, he can drink. Doesn't he have, like, a parameter or something that he goes by?
I think so, yeah.
I can't remember what episode, and he did not get... And he was wasted.
Yeah, he drinks whiskey all the time.
Yeah.
And bourbon.
Yeah, like,
I don't know if that's
water.
the same thing or not. I'm not an alcohol snob. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I know he likes whiskey.
Yeah. I mean, basically, if it has alcohol in it, I like it.
Oh, did you guys find funny that in their fight, you know, when Leslie and Anne were fighting and everything, and they started, like, competing against each other, like, the dance moves and stuff like that, and then Leslie finds John Ralphio to dance.
Oh, yeah.
And, yeah, she tells her, John Ralphio. He was, like, right there, like, in less than a second.
I know.
Just, dance up on me. I was like, what?
Dance up on me, yeah.
That was funny.
Yeah, I really liked that.
I like John Ralphio, actually.
Oh, I do too. I liked his rhyming that wasn't really rhyming.
Oh my
yeah.
god.
It was
He
awesome.
was the worst.
Yeah, he never stopped when he needed to. He just kept saying, I know.
Tom's like, you just need to stop. And he's like, don't tell me where I need to stop. I know.
Yeah, I know, yeah. He didn't get it right.
Yeah.
I like that character, John Ralphio. And when he's paired up with his sister, Mona Lisa or something.
Oh my god,
yeah.
his sister.
Yeah. I think those are cool episodes.
Kelly,
Yeah.
I just want to point out while we're recording how many of your, I don't know how to put it, how much I have to edit out you cracking open a beer.
Oh, does that happen a lot?
It happens a lot.
I'm sorry.
No.
Just leave it in. It's authentic.
That's
I
right.
could leave it in, but I'll probably edit it out. That's why I'm saying it here, because I want everyone to know. If you ever wonder why things get out of control towards the end,
It's because of that.
you're not.
I'm cracking open beers.
Yeah,
How many you
You're
drink,
not-
Kelly?
This is my second one. Second or third. I don't know.
I'm only
Okay.
on my second one too, but like I have to edit my stuff out too.
Okay, I tried to drink wine, but it's just too sweet now. 'Cause I've been drinking beer, but I really like these Coors Light aluminum bottles, and it's like a full rotation to get the lid to crack off. So,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yep.
But they're really cold and delicious.
I tried to move mine way far away from the mic, and it's the glass bottle, so it doesn't make a lot of noise. Yours, it doesn't matter where you're at.
Yeah.
Those types of bottles, they're gonna make noise.
Plus, I just have like the wine and crime vibe, so I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, everybody wants to hear my crack.
Oh my god.
That was funny. I'm drinking water.
Cheers.
Yeah, that's right. Cheers.
I got the hard stuff for Belinda tonight.
I know.
Water?
Mm-hmm.
Did you give her cashews?
I did not give her cashews. Did you want cashews, Belinda?
Sure, why not? Keep me healthy.
Yeah, so Ron loves this snake juice. He loves it.
Oh, yeah.
And he doesn't endorse many things.
No, he
No.
doesn't. He just walks up to this couple sitting at the bar minding their own business, and he's like, you should drink this. You should know that my endorsement is basically a guarantee.
That's right. Yeah, he's very genuine.
He gives a list of, I don't remember what they were, but he gives a list of things that he endorses.
Right.
And it's very small list.
Yeah. Like 2 or 3 things, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
And one of them was like a military issued razor or something.
oh. Yeah, I like Ron.
I do too.
Can we talk about their fight, or did you guys already talk about that?
I mean, we talked a little bit about it.
I just thought it was funny how she was like, you're stupid, you're drunk, and you're stupid.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was my favorite line. That's why I think that this fight is so funny, because it's very realistic of a drunk fight.
And
That's
she's
true.
like, oh, I guess it's always my fault, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, don't always make everything your fault.
Yeah.
And then when Leslie talks to the camera, she's like, you don't even know one thing. I didn't even say one thing, and she asked me the whole thing, and I didn't even do it once. Like, that doesn't make any sense, but it's totally something someone drunk would say.
Yep.
That's right. Yeah, they have no clue what's going on. They just say
And
whatever.
then Tom says, I'm like an elephant. If I walk into the room, it's like, okay, he's in there. Like, what?
I don't remember that phrase. That's awesome.
And then Ron is just dancing in front of the camera, and it's hilarious with April's little hat headband.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, April just speaks. I don't think it's an actual language.
Oh, yeah, Belinda. Did
What?
she say something in
I
Spanish,
think-
or
I don't know.
it was just
I
made
didn't-
up?
I probably made up because I don't remember what she said.
The subtitles said speaking gibberish.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
So I'm assuming that it was not an actual language.
Okay.
I don't. If it was, send your hate mail to intern Mark. But
That's internmark@gmail.com.
no, it said gibberish. So I'm gonna
Okay.
trust Netflix on this one.
Okay.
Okay.
I did turn subtitles on when I went back to see what when Leslie said, you don't even know one thing. I didn't even say one thing. But I do watch Game of Thrones on subtitles because sometimes they talk really loud and sometimes they talk really quiet. And
Yep.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of
But-
secrets they gotta whisper.
Oh.
I need to start watching everything with subtitles, but I forget.
I do.
Turn 'em
I watch
on.
everything with subtitles.
Yeah, that's smart. And also sometimes it's like funny because they say funny stuff in the subtitles.
Oh, yeah. And then you can't, like, catch it on to it if you didn't
Yeah.
have them. Yeah.
Yeah, so basically
agree.
everybody is drunk except for Donna and Chris. Donna is on a juice cleanse or something.
Yeah, she's on a cleanse.
Yeah,
She
and
can only
Chris
have warm tap water and cayenne pepper.
yeah. And Chris knows all about it because any kind of health craze Chris is going to know about. So
Oh
they're
my
bonding about this. And Donna says something about basically they're all drinking rat poison.
That was awesome.
But Chris shows up because he tells Tom that he asked everybody to kind of help him promote this, and he can't do that because of his government position.
Yeah.
And so he's going to have to sell his share of the liquor company. Ron really takes issue with this.
Yeah.
Because I think that Ron is a very supportive person, and he sees that this liquor actually is worth something, and Tom could do something, and Ron hates government anyway. So
Yeah, that's right.
he thinks that Tom being in this position is just pointless. So I
Oh,
like
yeah.
that he really, stands behind these people. He acts like he doesn't care, but deep down he cares.
He cares. He cares. I think I checked out, what Ron said regarding Tom when he first got hired.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
I remember vaguely what you're talking about.
yeah. I can't remember what it was, but he said something like, oh, he's like the perfect person to work here. He doesn't work, he doesn't care, he's worthless, useless, something like that.
Right.
He's perfect for the Parks and Recreation department or something. So he does care for all of them. He acts like he doesn't, but yeah, he cares. What does he call him? Like his working acquaintances?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, they're not his friends. He
Yeah.
doesn't have friends.
That's right.
So everyone gets really drunk, and so of course they are all very hungover the next morning, except for Ron, who just shows up with food and puts it in front of everybody.
Yeah, and everybody's like really, really hungover, and he's like, perfect. Perfect condition.
Ben goes to Anne's house to kind of smooth things over between her and Leslie. And, of course, Anne says something about Leslie liking him, and his reaction is cute. I like Ben.
Yeah.
Anne ends up coming to the interview. I love their interaction together because, they keep talking as if they're not talking to each other.
Yeah,
It's
funny.
Yeah, it's an actual interview, and I love at the end, Anne says something about, and if you don't mind, I would like to go throw up in a wastebasket. And Leslie says, that sounds lovely, may I join you?
Yeah, that was awesome.
And they just walk out together.
I know,
And Anne obviously has a real interview later on.
yeah, with Chris.
Right.
I like that Anne had her sweatshirt, backwards.
Yeah.
A sweater,
And inside out.
And
inside out, yeah. That was funny.
I did not notice that. I thought the tag was like a bow.
Oh.
That's how weird clothing has gotten, that I don't even notice these things anymore.
Oh my gosh.
I went shopping today, Kelly.
You did? I'm jealous.
Yeah, except for I couldn't find a damn thing. They don't even make real jeans anymore.
Oh.
What?
Where did you go?
I went to Kohl's.
Oh, yeah. They have jeans
What do
there,
you mean
don't
they don't
They
make
didn't
real
have
jeans?
actual jeans. I don't want rhinestones on my ass. I don't want jeggings. I don't want it to come clear up over my belly button. This episode is not endorsed by Kohl's.
Okay,
Let's point that out.
And by recently, I mean last Black Friday, I got jeans from American Eagle online,
Yeah.
which they do come up high because they're for moms. But I was excited because they're the first American Eagle jeans that I've probably had since college. Because I didn't know that they had bigger sizes still. Because everything keeps shrinking.
That's
That's true.
Now it's skinny everywhere. Skinny
Yeah,
jeans.
but
Right,
I really
I'm
like
not
them.
skinny. I don't want skinny
You
jeans.
are skinny.
Yeah, you are.
Well, tell my stomach that. I had a child.
Well,
Well, I had 2 of them.
yeah, I'm there with you guys.
So
My
did
belly's
Belinda.
just built.
Yeah, I'm not fat, but I have loose skin, so unless
Yeah.
I have a girdle on, I'm not gonna look good in jeggings.
I think we just need to
Me
wear
too.
Spanx all the time or
That's
something.
right.
Maybe.
To get a curvious, what do you call it? A curvious figure or something?
Yeah, hourglass.
Hourglass. Oh my god, yeah.
Andy is shining Kyle's shoes.
Oh my god, this was hilarious.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
April is bored and she kind of wants to get back to the role playing, so she comes out with this little hat on and she's pretending to hold a cigarette and
It's a pen. If you look
Oh, yeah,
closely,
yeah.
it's a pen.
and Andy basically says he's not in the mood and he can tell that she's really upset by it. So he tells her that Burt Macklin has died and he is his twin or something.
Yep, his twin. What was it?
I
Oh man, I forgot.
I know.
He has a different last name, though, and Kyle's
Right.
like, why would he have a different last name?
He's
Like, shut up, Kyle.
That's right. And then he pukes on him.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
That little clip right there of him puking. Oh my gosh.
Before he pukes on Kyle, though, he goes over and he says something to April, and she smacks him across the face, and she says, "How dare you!"
That's true.
Oh, I belly laughed at that part. I
Yeah.
don't know why it is so funny to me when they slap each other in any show.
Because it's out of love.
Well, and they seriously smack each other.
Yeah. Well, she smacks him, right? 'Cause I have not seen
Yeah,
him
yeah, she
smacking
smacks
her.
him, but in How I Met Your Mother, the whole slap war thing, that
Yeah, slap
cracks me up. Just because you have the actors and they want to make it realistic, so they legitimately slap each other.
It's awesome because Andy was he was happy about it. You know, like if it's in real life, he's actually getting a slap on his face and he's all happy. Wow. Good actor.
Yeah, and I think that pretty much wraps everything up with that episode.
Yeah. Oh, and Anne got the job.
Yes.
And she's going to be, 2 days working as a nurse and the rest of the days working
Yeah,
at
so
the
she
park.
splits her time
Yeah.
up. So she still gets more time with Leslie, but she still gets to keep her other job. And Ron tries to convince Chris to let Tom keep his shares in snake juice, but Chris doesn't go for it. So Ron builds him a little case to hold a bottle of snake juice, which I thought was cute.
Yeah.
I don't really understand the whole politics of that thing.
It's the same as, like, where we work. We can't accept gifts, and we can't use our position to further...
So because he used his email
Yeah.
to invite people, that made it...
Yeah. Alright, so the next episode is Belinda's favorite episode.
Yep. Woohoo.
Yay.
I'm really excited that she chose this one, because this one might be my favorite, too.
It's just crazy.
Yes. So it is Ron and Diane, Season 5, Episode 9. And this episode is the one where Ron wins a woodworking award for building a chair, and his crazy ex-wife, Tammy, too, shows up and is trying to seduce him for some reason. She is just so weird, and she's played by Megan Mullally.
Okay, that's what
I
I was gonna say.
absolutely love. She is Karen in Will and Grace.
I mean, who doesn't love her? She can get you a reservation anywhere.
Yes,
That's
so
right.
we covered her in Will and Grace, and directly following this recording, Kelly and I are recording a Bob's Burgers episode, and she plays
She's in that
Gail.
too.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know that one.
You know who else was in Bob's Burgers?
Hill.
John
Oh, really?
Raffio, his sister. His sister is Tammy on Bob's Burgers.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah.
Huh.
I mean, I don't know if they're related in real life, but his twin sister on the show
Right.
is Tammy on Bob's Burgers.
That's funny.
Who? Like John Ralphio's sister, Mona Lisa?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Her voice is Tammy on Bob's Burgers.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you guys know that she dated Chris, what's this guy? Captain America.
Oh, Evans?
Yeah, Chris Evans.
Hemsworth? Oh.
Oh, no.
Whoops. Sorry.
Captain
There's
America.
too many
I'm out of
Chris's.
the loop.
Yeah. I think
Just
they're like
ignore
3
me. I don't
Chris's.
know what's going on.
Chris Pratt, Chris Hemsworth, Chris Evans. I know, it's hard to keep up with all the Chris's.
Yep.
But she dated him
Huh. I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
for a little bit.
It all comes around.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything's related. We could probably do like a special bonus episode on how all the shows are related.
That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah, because Rashida Jones, she's in The Office, so.
The
And you guys
Office,
did-
yeah.
Yeah, so you guys did The Office too, remember?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like that game, 7 Degrees of Separation,
Mm-hmm.
that you start with Kevin Bacon, and you can link him to any actor or
That's
actress.
And there's also an episode where Leslie gets, what's his name on the show? Adam Scott, what's his name on the show?
Ben.
Ben. She gets him a replica of the Iron Throne.
Oh,
yes! That was awesome! I saw that.
And then she starts talking to him like Star Wars or Star Trek, and he's like, don't even try if you don't know what you're talking about.
He's such a nerd. I like Ben.
So, Ron has won, well, he didn't win an award. He is nominated for an Indiana Fine Woodworking Association for a chair he recently constructed. And I love this because the chairs all look the same.
Oh, yes.
At least to me.
Yes, they do.
Yeah,
then-
and nobody really knows which one is Ron's.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't even have a tag on them or anything.
No. And Leslie asks Diane, which one is his? And she's like, who cares? It doesn't matter.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. She was being just supportive. I
Right.
love the way how Leslie found out about this whole thing. that she said that she had a Google alert for Ron Swanson for 7 years, and it finally paid off.
That's hilarious.
That was funny, yeah.
I have Google alerts for all of you, so
no, what? You're kidding me.
No, I really don't. I'm not that creepy.
Yeah. You're not Leslie creepy.
Right. Although, if I knew somebody like Ron, I might.
Got it. Yeah, you're right. He's interesting.
Yes, he is. Because you don't know anything about him, really.
Yeah. Didn't he change his birth certificate or something?
And there's an episode where, like, he had searched for something, and then later on there was an ad for it on his computer, so he threw it away.
Yes,
like
that's
the computer.
Right. Yeah, he threw the computer.
Yeah, I was watching, like, the 10 funniest parts of Parks and Rec, and there was an episode or a clip where he asked April, like, why am I getting an ad for this? And she's like, well, there's these things called cookies in your computer.
Yep. Yeah, and then he realizes that, they can track down whatever he does. There's another episode too that he says something to Tom, like he's saying something about Tom, I think, and saying, like, Tom puts, like, all my records into this rectangle. The songs just play one after the other.
Oh, yeah.
This is an excellent or a great rectangle. He's funny.
Yeah, so Ron is nominated for this award, and he's there with his girlfriend, and Leslie is there, and he's super excited. He sees this guy. I don't even remember what this guy's name was, but he built something that Ron was super excited about.
Oh,
so
my
he
gosh.
runs over, and he's going to get his autograph.
Yeah, I love how childish Ron gets when he sees him.
He's like his giddy, idol. Like, he has a crush on him, and he's like, I don't want to bother him. He probably gets a lot of attention. Blah, blah,
or
blah.
something. And he's the modern master of the shaker style.
Yeah.
I remember that. I was like, well, what's that,
Yeah, I don't even know what that is.
And he said, too, like, he never dreamed of seeing him in the flesh.
Right.
And the guy looks like just a random guy,
Yeah, he looks like a random old man drinking coffee.
And just standing there.
Yeah. Yeah, and so as they're standing there and they're talking, Tammy shows up. Tammy, too.
Yep.
Ron knows because he can smell her.
Oh, yes. He can smell her. Oof, far away. Hey, I just have to point out, Tammy 0 is his mom. Tammy 1 is his first wife, and Tammy 2 is this crazy chick.
I didn't realize that Tammy was also his mom.
Yep, he has Tammy.
That's weird.
That's
I know.
I want to point out that Diane is Xena, warrior princess.
Who?
Oh, she is?
Yes, that's Lucy Lawless. She played Xena, warrior princess.
Xena warrior. I need to look that up. But when she was younger, right?
Right, yeah.
Okay, I think I know who you're talking about then.
Yeah, and honestly, she looks really good now.
Yeah.
Like, compared to even back then. Not that she was unattractive then, because she wasn't, but she's one of those people that actually ages better. Like, she gets better with age.
She is. Oh, I know who you're talking about. I just Googled her.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I know her. She had dark hair back then.
Yeah, she did.
Now she has lighter hair. Okay.
So Ron actually wins this award for his chair. And so he gets up there and he's going to accept his award. Tammy is right front and center because she switched with someone to get seats.
Mm-hmm. Actually, Leslie says this table is reserved. Then this Tammy too says that she traded her seat for a peek and a squeeze. That's my boob and my butt, respectively. She's just crazy.
Yeah, she really is. So she's sitting in the front row, and as Ron is trying to give his speech, she's like pulling her top down so that he can see her cleavage and part of her boobs, and then she uncrosses her legs and it's blurred out, so you know she doesn't have underwear on.
She even points at him. She sat there, hey, like, look, look down here or something. I'm like, what?
Yeah, you're right. She does.
She is crazy. I can't believe she works at a library.
Yeah.
I forgot.
So he basically gets really discombobulated and he runs off stage. And Leslie talks to Diane and she tells her, I know that this woman is crazy. I'm going to take care of it. Don't worry about it. And Diane basically tells her, I'm not worried about her. I'm worried about you. You are the one that, he brings up and talks about. You are the one who knows more about him than anybody else. So if I was going to be threatened by anybody, it would be you. And it kind of freaks Leslie out a little bit because Ron is a really good friend and she wants to be a part of his life and she wants to get to know Diane because she cares for Ron. So she has this conversation with Ron and Ron says basically, don't worry about it, I'll take care of it. And Leslie says, okay, I'll take care of Tammy, which proves to be a lot harder of a job than I think that she's anticipating.
Yes, that woman is crazy. Just imagine Ron, the other time that they remarried, he didn't have like his mustache, part of his mustache, and he had braids on his head.
Right.
I'm like, what does this woman do to him?
He had cornrows.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
yeah, and he even had a video of himself talking him through, like, don't listen to that woman or something like that.
Right.
Like this is, this woman is just crazy. So
This
Leslie
kind of reminds me of Michael Scott and Jan.
Yeah.
Oh,
bit.
yeah. That's true.
So Leslie goes out to Ron's car. Tammy is obviously sitting in the passenger seat waiting for him. And she's very surprised by the fact that Leslie is in the car. So she basically says she's going to get out. Leslie speeds off to just keep Tammy away from him for a few hours. She drives her out to the middle of nowhere. They jump out of the car. They're fighting in a dumpster, and Tammy tries to make out with Leslie.
Oh, yeah.
It's all really weird.
I know. And then Tammy, I think, says something, don't tell me you're not feeling it, too.
Yeah, don't tell me you're not turned on.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Don't tell me you're not turned on.
So we cut to Ron. He's at the bar with Diane, and he's explaining, I don't find Leslie attractive. She's a blonde. Is basically what he says.
Yeah. And she's pro-government.
Right.
Blah,
it
blah,
just
blah.
wouldn't work. And he says, I know that you think that Leslie knows everything about me, but I'm going to share a part of myself with you that nobody else knows. And this is where we're reintroduced to Duke Silver. And he gets up on stage and he dedicates this song to his Duchess and points to Diane. And he starts playing saxophone, and one woman leans over and tells her, you're just the luckiest woman. And another woman leans over and says, I'm gonna kill you.
He has a good fan base.
Yes, he does.
Mm-hmm. They would do anything for him.
Cut to next morning, the cops arrive and they're talking to Ron because they found his car. Tammy, too, was driving it. She is handcuffed. Ron says, did you have a passenger? And you hear Leslie screaming from the trunk.
That's right.
But she did her job. She kept Tammy 2 away, and Ron had a happily ever after.
Yep, that's right. A good night with Diane.
Yep. But the B plot of this story is actually very funny, too, and this is another reason why I'm glad you picked this episode, Belinda, because this is actually a Christmas episode, and I love Christmas. I'm obsessed with it. Yeah.
I already have anxiety just thinking about it.
I love Christmas, and I love Christmas episodes, Christmas movies, just everything.
Everything, okay.
So I was excited. Basically, all year long, everybody in the office puts $1 into a box every time Jerry says something stupid.
Or does something stupid.
Yeah. So at the end of the year, they take all of this money, and they go out and they have a great dinner.
Mm-hmm. Not Jerry in it, though.
Right, not with Jerry. So Anne points out to them how mean this is. Mm-hmm. And they're like, no, it's fine. But on the way to the dinner, It's Donna, Andy, April, and Tom. And Donna starts feeling guilty.
Yeah.
Because they keep talking about, like, their favorite Jerry moments of the year. And she's like, you know what, Anne's right, this is mean, I'm gonna go get Jerry. So Donna wants to invite Jerry to the dinner. When they get to his house, however, he's throwing a Christmas party.
Yep.
And they're upset because they weren't invited, even though they're doing this very mean thing.
Yep, that's right. After everything they do to him, how they mess with him, they mock him and everything, and they're upset of that, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, so they go to the door because, you know, for one thing, Donna's wanting to invite him, but now they're going to the door because they want in. Mm-hmm. They see all of these people, and, you know, they're jealous. They want to be involved. Anne opens the door, and Anne says, "You're not coming in. This is mean. You don't even do anything nice. If you do one nice thing for Jerry, then I'll let you in." And Donna says, "I already did. That's why we're here in the first place. I was going to invite him to dinner." And Anne says, "Okay, you can come in." And Donna is so excited.
Oh, yeah. Yep, I like that part. And I like that Andy, he wants to come in, and then he sees, it's probably not that good, you know, or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then he sees, Santa. He's like, "There's Santa." Oh my gosh.
We gotta get into that party.
That's right. Oh, and they had buffet too. They really liked that when they saw it. And
it was a good buffet.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's like, "There's a buffet in the house. I didn't even know you could do that."
That's funny.
So they're trying to figure out how to get in. And while they're out there trying to figure out how to get in, you're seeing the inside. You're seeing Anne there, Ben and Chris are there. Chris used to date one of Jerry's daughters, but his wife is there, and she is gorgeous.
Oh, yes. Like, all the women in Jerry's life are gorgeous.
Right,
his 3 daughters, his wife, they're just beautiful.
Right.
And then you look at Jerry and we're like, just like Ben, he can't figure it out. Like, what's going on here?
I know, and Chris says, "I've thought about it long and hard. You're never going to figure it out. It doesn't make sense." But yeah, so Ben is helping Chris because Chris used to date one of their daughters, and, you know, Chris is a neurotic mess for most of the show. But his therapy seems to be working. He even drinks full-fat eggnog and does not freak out.
Yep.
He doesn't think he's going to die.
Yeah, that was hilarious. I thought that for sure he was going to freak out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and the gray hair, too.
Oh, yeah, he found a gray hair.
Yeah.
So, I did like the part, though, he's holding the picture of the daughter that he used to date when she walks in with her new fiancé, and he just, flips it upside down.
That was awesome.
But he even gets through that.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, he handles it, and I think that this is really good character development.
That's right.
I also like how supportive Ben is for him throughout this.
That's true. They're buddies.
Yep. So the other 3 are outside. They're trying to figure out how to get in. And Tom has this revelation that the Jerry folder, he set up emails on everyone's email account. That anything that came from Jerry's account got filtered into the Jerry folder.
Oh, filter,
yeah.
Yes.
Everything got filtered out into this, folder. And so they go into that folder and they find their invites, and so they're let in and everything. And Jerry's really excited that they came. It's really sweet. But then they shut him out of his own home.
That's right. They gave him the money, though, which was nice.
They did. That's true.
I forgot about it until they mentioned it, that, oh yeah, you were going to this is for your medical bills because you're going to fart yourself to death.
Yeah.
I totally forgot about that episode.
He had a fart attack.
Yeah, that's right. I'm done. And that's why they helped him out with that money.
Yeah.
That was funny, though.
Yeah, the whole party, it was just funny.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot to mention this, too, that Andy, when they said the Jerry filter, and he said, "Who's Jerry filter?"
Oh,
it's like, what the heck, dude?
Yeah, I forgot about that, too.
Yeah.
I really liked the episode.
I'm glad
like
you
I said,
liked it.
a lot of it had to do with the fact that it was a Christmas episode, but
yeah.
I really like Ron, and it was kind of a Ron-centric episode, too.
Yeah. That's true, yeah.
I liked how he kind of broke his normal persona and was laughing and smiling and being giddy.
Yeah.
It's rare that you hear Ron laugh.
Yes, that's true. I like Ron. Who's your guys' favorite character?
I like April.
April.
Yeah, it's a toss-up between April and Ron for me, probably.
Okay. I like April because she's sarcastic, but I have to go with Ron. I don't know. I don't know. Ron is just kind of weird. That's probably why I like him. You know.
Yeah.
He just doesn't like government job. You know, let's be honest. Nobody wants to work. We just want them. And he's just like, whatever. Let's cut all the programs.
Ron just really reminds me of my dad.
Really?
Yes. There are so many things that man says that I'm like, I think I have heard my dad say that.
Wow.
There is a scene where Ron is walking through a hardware store and an employee walks up and says, "Can I help you?" And he just holds his hand up and says, "I know more than you do."
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
My dad is like that.
Will he say it to the person?
I mean, in a nicer way, but basically that.
Oh my god. So we have a Ron Swanson in real life.
In real life.
Near to us.
Yeah, the only difference is my dad has a goatee and not a mustache.
Okay. We just switched that.
Yep. Before we go into the random facts, I want to talk a little bit about, you're going to hear a promo in a little bit for a podcast called The Curious Kid Podcast. I have listened to this. Kelly has listened to this. She's actually played this podcast for her kids.
Yeah, I did. And I actually learned something from it. So
Yes.
So it's not just for kids.
Belinda, you will really like it too.
Okay.
Your girls would like it too.
Yes.
Okay.
Basically, this podcast is a father and daughter. Each episode, they talk about different things. Some of the episodes that they've done, they've talked about bugs. They've talked about tornadoes.
Oh.
They talk about trees and like how you can see how old they are. They basically, it's just a very generalized topic, but they go pretty deep into the subject.
Okay.
And a lot of the episodes are short. They're like between 10 and 15 minutes. That's an average. Some might be longer than that. But that way, it keeps the attention span of kids.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and it's really good. So, yeah, you guys should check that out. It's, again, called The Curious Kids Podcast, and you'll hear the promo now.
Hello, my name is Jacob.
And I'm his co-host, 5-year-old Olivia.
Do you have kids?
And are your kids curious?
If you answered yes, you should check out Curious Kid Podcast, a weekly educational podcast for curious kids and grown-ups. Every week we learn about another topic.
We've already learned about spider webs, batteries, the moon, and so much more.
You can find us at CuriousKidPodcast.buzzsprout.com or wherever you listen to podcasts.
So, going into random facts. I got all of these facts from mentalfloss.com and BuzzFeed.com. And I hope that you guys haven't heard all of these, because I'd like to shock you a little bit.
Okay.
Okay, so the show was initially conceived as a spinoff of The Office. I know that you kind of know this because we talked about it a little bit when we recorded the Office episode, and all three of us were on that episode.
Yep.
But what I didn't
best one.
know, what I didn't know was that the spinoff, had it not been Jan, which was the original concept, they got rid of that concept fairly early. What they thought about doing was having a broken copy machine from Scranton get sent to Pawnee.
Okay.
So the spin-off character was basically supposed to be the broken copy machine.
Huh?
Yeah, that was supposed to be the only connection between the two.
Oh, okay, got it. Okay.
So basically, in one episode, this broken copy machine got shipped to Pawnee, and then throughout the Pawnee, or the Parks and Rec series, this broken copy machine was supposed to be an ongoing gag, and that's what would connect the two shows.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
But they got rid of it, and they basically decided they were going to do a completely different show, but they were going to use The Office's mockumentary format
Got it.
to go. They also brought Rashida Jones over.
Yeah.
So they couldn't really do too much of a spin-off because, you know, she was in The Office.
Yeah. Hey, did you guys ever Google Pawnee, Indiana?
No.
I did because, you know, I'm not from here, so I just wanted
Yeah.
to see if it was like, you know, Scranton, Pennsylvania. Well, no, it's just a made-up town. So, just FYI. I guess I just wanted to say that.
Yeah, so this probably won't be too much of a surprise. April Ludgate was written just for Aubrey Plaza. It says the casting director Allison Jones informed Schur, who became Park's showrunner, that she had just met the weirdest girl, and that a meeting between Plaza and Schur had to happen.
I like to think that's what people say when they meet me.
The
Why, that you're
weirdest girl. Yeah.
The weirdest
Yeah,
girl.
I just met the weirdest girl.
That would compliment you, Kelly?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
At the sit-down, Plaza made Schur really uncomfortable for like an hour, and that's a quote. He decided to employ her.
Okay.
Because Ansari and Rashida Jones did not make him uncomfortable, but they were also cast before they or the writers knew who they would be playing.
Okay.
The Pit. So The Pit is an ongoing thing in the beginning of the series. It was initially not going to become a park until the series finale.
Oh, yeah. Did they do it, like, on what episode did they do that?
I can't remember
I know
when
it
they
worked.
did it.
It was like a work in progress all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
But the reason they were doing that was because they actually they did a lot of research for the show, and they talked to government officials, and they were told that parks typically take about 18 years to break ground. Yeah, so they
Wow.
thought
See,
to be a little more realistic, they were going to stretch it out, but then they thought that people thought that's all the show was about, and so they went ahead and they sped it up.
Got it.
that's why I'm just gonna buy my kids their own swing set.
Yep.
That's right. There you go.
The show received bad reviews in its first season.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I can see it a little bit because I had to watch it after it was already finalized. And in the beginning, you know, my brother-in-law, he kept telling me, oh, yeah, you guys should watch it, blah, blah, blah. It's really good. And then I started watching it. I didn't feel the characters. But
Right.
then they grow into you. And I'm like, oh, okay. Now it's funny, you know?
Yeah.
You have to get to know them a little bit more longer. Yeah, but tell me why, though.
Yeah, they said it was unfavorable compared to The Office.
Okay.
So people were basically comparing it to The Office because it had a similar feel and everything.
Yeah.
But you're talking about The Office that basically already has a set audience. Like, we're already into it.
Got it.
And I think people were expecting it to be a lot like that, and that's not what they were going for.
Got it.
So it says some initial reviews from critics who would later change their minds were notably unkind, like the Chicago Tribune's review, which said it was worse than the universally panned Friends spinoff Joey.
Wow.
So I like to think that me and my brother have the same kind of sense of humor because we're related, but I told him to watch this and he said he doesn't like Amy Poehler, so he just can't.
What? How do you not like
Yeah.
Amy Poehler?
I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah, she's
I'm
funny.
really
She's
shocked
good.
because we both grew up watching Saturday Night Live. Like, I probably shouldn't
Oh.
have been because I was young, but
Yeah, Mary Catherine Gallagher.
yeah. Like, how do you not like Amy Poehler? She's
Yeah,
like
she's
besties with Tina Fey,
Right.
who like invented comedy.
That's
Pretty
right.
much. Rob Lowe was initially only supposed to appear for a few episodes.
I'm literally glad that didn't happen.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and actually, I'm really surprised that his character didn't annoy me more than
That's true.
he did.
I agree because in the beginning I was like, oh my gosh, he's only gonna talk about his body, what he
Right.
eats, and all that. But yeah, it really did not annoy me. I have the same perspective as you actually. Like
Yeah.
I thought, but no, he was cool.
But I will say that it didn't hurt looking at Rob Lowe.
Yeah. That's probably why I like him.
Yeah.
He's
Right.
nice to look at.
Yeah. How old is he?
I don't know, but he's always been really good looking.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so Leslie Knope won, lost, and maybe even tied her city council election. And what I mean by this is, in the season finale, win, lose, or draw, she defeated Bobby Newport on a recount. But in reality, 3 different endings were shot to avoid spoilers.
What?
Yeah. So they shot a scene of her winning, they shot a scene of her losing, and they shot a scene of her tying.
Oh, got
so
it.
that anybody who saw them filming
Got
were
it.
seeing 3 different ones, so nobody knew which one they were going to use.
Oh, wow, that's good.
Yeah,
That's really good, actually.
I love that.
Yeah.
Rob Lowe is 55 years old.
55.
Dang. He
That's
still looks
pretty
good.
He does.
Amy Poehler was responsible for the final season's time jump. So, Retta, who plays Donna Meagle, revealed that Amy Poehler influenced the decision. Poehler expressed a desire to not work with infants on the show because she had her fill of babies raising her own 2 children in real life.
Got it. Yeah, she had 3, didn't she?
I think so. Or no, I don't know. It says 2, so maybe at
No,
the time she had 2.
Oh. Maybe. Oh, okay.
I
Got
don't
it.
know. I'm not sure how many she has. But it says 2 children, so at least at the time she had 2.
She had 2. Okay.
Yep. So, Amy Poehler and Nick Offerman, so Leslie and Ron, shot a makeout scene for the gag reel of every season,
What?
but it was never included because it was quote-unquote super disgusting to watch.
Ew. Yeah, I can't imagine those 2 together.
Right. Belinda, you hit on this a little bit earlier. Pratt was originally supposed to just guest star as Anne's lazy boyfriend for 6 episodes, but was so great in the role that he ended up becoming a series regular.
Oh, yeah. I'm happy
Yep,
because they did really good with him.
they did.
And Johnny Karate later on. Yes.
Obviously, because of that, April and Andy's relationship wasn't initially planned, but their chemistry first became evident when Aubrey Plaza decided April would get Andy's band, like, understand it. And Plaza's response when asked if she saw the relationship coming was, "I saw it in a fiery nightmare."
What? So she secretly loves him.
Yeah. Adam Scott was such a convincing actor that after Leslie and Ben's fight scenes, Amy Poehler would often ask him, "Are you mad at me?" To which he would respond, "No, dummy, I'm acting."
That's funny.
This one's a little uncomfortable, but the horse who played Little Sebastian was almost constantly erect, making him very difficult to work with, which is why they ended up blurring his penis out.
You're kidding me. I didn't
Nope.
even see that.
Yeah.
What the heck? I need to go check that out. Oh my gosh.
So Jim O'Hare, who plays Jerry. Also, I want to point out, I purposely left him out of the cast. I don't know if you guys realize that.
No.
He was the only one I didn't name, and I did that on purpose.
Because he has a lot of names, doesn't he?
Because he's Jerry. They always leave him out of everything.
Oh, I get it.
Oh, okay.
It's like the it's like the People magazine that had all the cast, but they put like a sticker over Jerry's face.
Oh
my God.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Anyway, Jim O'Hare, he plays Jerry. The cast loved him so much that the only way they could live with being mean to his character was to give him the perfect family and home life.
Oh, got it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see.
This is also why they have a doctor claim he has the largest penis he's ever seen.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, you're
my
right.
gosh.
I was going to say something about that earlier, but I don't know who listens to this exactly.
Oh,
You
my
know,
gosh.
Because
Listen.
that's probably a reason why she has that beautiful woman, you know what I'm
For
saying?
that's true, yeah. For a podcast that is hosted by 2 women, we talk about penises a lot on this show.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure, you know.
For some
We're-
reason, it always comes back around.
Here we go again.
Yep. Amy Poehler wrote John Ralphio's infamous raps that don't quite rhyme in the fight.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. She's creative.
Yes, she is.
At least she tries.
One of the most widely quoted improvised lines is in Flu Season when Leslie is sick. And Andy says, "Leslie, I typed your symptoms into the thing up here, and it says you could have network connectivity problems."
I watched that clip before we did this.
Oh my gosh.
That was in the top 10 funniest moments.
Yeah, and he improvised that line, and I love it.
Oh man, that's awesome. I like when they do improv like
Me
that.
too.
She's at the pharmacy and he's like, "So I have to wait here while you get your medicines and look at all these candies and not get any." And she's like, "You can get 2 candies." And he's like, "I could get 2?"
Andy. He's like a little kid, isn't he?
Yeah.
Kelly, you'll like this one. Retta is a trained opera singer, and her aunt is the president of Liberia.
What?
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
You're kidding me.
Nope.
This is for real.
Yeah.
What? Her aunt is the president?
That's
What
according
the
to
heck?
BuzzFeed.
Okay. The heck?
That's crazy.
That's awesome, actually.
She's also on one of our new favorite shows, Good Girls.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
That's on Netflix. You can check that out
Yeah,
too.
you need to watch it.
I need to download it now.
This one I'm still kind of on the fence about. It kind of makes me a little bit uncomfortable. In Kaboom, when Leslie opens the door to a naked Andy, Chris...
I read that and I thought it was really funny.
Yeah,
what
Chris,
happened?
Chris Pratt was actually fully nude. Pratt decided to take his skin-colored briefs off when he wasn't quite eliciting the response that he wanted. So Polar's shock reaction is 100% genuine.
No.
And it
Oh
actually
my
got
God.
him into a little bit of trouble.
Why? What happened to him?
Well, I'm assuming, and this is why it makes me just a little bit uneasy, is he basically flashed her.
Oh, yeah.
So
That's true.
I'm sure that between them, like, they're friends or whatever, and it wasn't meant in any kind of malicious way. I'm not saying that. But I also can kind of see where he would get in trouble, because that's technically a crime.
Oh, got it. Yeah.
Okay, but I don't know. I don't agree with that.
Well, and that's where I'm kind of at on it. Like, I do agree that, like, it could be considered unwanted,
Yeah.
but I feel like they're friends and they probably know each other.
Yeah, and then she,
I
just
do
let it
think
go.
that intent matters.
Right. And, like, okay, it's probably written in the script that she's supposed to react to him being that way, but she knew that he was going to actually have underpants
Right.
on, but still, I don't know. I don't think it's that big of a thing.
Yeah.
It's not like somebody came up to you on the street and was like, "Hey, look at this."
And I think
Like
that's why it says it actually got him into a little trouble.
Little trouble. Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
they
not a
probably
lot.
were like, dude, you can't do that. There are
Yeah.
laws that could be seen
Got
as
it.
sexual harassment.
Like, if she wanted to press charges against him, she could easily do
Right.
it because she has the proof. She has,
Yeah, like,
video
I'm not going to
recordings.
be all anti-Chris
Yeah.
Pratt, because
No,
like
no,
I said,
no.
you know the guy, he's
No.
pretty laid back. I don't think he has any kind of malicious intent.
Yeah.
So, we'll say it's good.
Yeah.
But that's all that I have for you. So, Kelly, I'm going to hand it over to you for social media comments.
Okay. Listener laughs. We asked, what is the government's most important role? And we asked for Ron Swanson like replies only.
Yeah.
Okay, so Cody, one of my favorite super media bros, he said bacon. Well, I mean, he didn't just say bacon. It's a gif of Ron Swanson saying bacon.
Yeah.
Shelley has opinions, said government keeps an accurate record of history, with a gif of Ron Swanson saying history began on July 4th, 1776. H.A. Simpson says a gif of Ron Swanson saying, I'm not sure I'm interested in that.
I
Yep.
love that one.
I do
That's
too. How I Met Your Friends podcast sent a gif of Ron Swanson saying, "This is my hell."
Yep.
Drinking with Nerds said, "To destroy itself from the inside." Also with a gif.
Oh my goodness.
We had a poll, who's your favorite Parks and Rec character? And the winner was Ron Swanson with 42%.
Oh wow. See?
Then Andy Dwyer with 21%, April Ludgate with 20%, and Leslie Knope with 17%.
Yep.
Yep. So they all were really close.
Yeah.
They were all really good characters.
Yep.
Yep. That's right.
Fave episode / moment. Allie L says Leslie eating waffles, and there's a gif. Nick Emmel from Tennis Podcast says Ron dancing with a gif. I wish you guys could see these gifs because I'm sure you get tired of me trying to explain them to you. H.A. Simpson said Ron stuck in a circular desk. That is hilarious.
Oh yeah.
Kelly Ann says a gif of Chris Pratt, and he says, "I have no idea what I'm doing, but I know I'm doing it really, really well."
Yeah.
And he's talking about shoe shining. Super listener Chad says, I just want to say this is not my husband.
Okay.
He says, "The burger challenge between Ron and Chris. That was so awesome."
Oh yeah. That was pretty cool.
Abby Hazley says, "The one where they all got drunk on the snake juice. I think that's what it's called."
Yep.
Letters from Home podcast says, "I really like the episode where they talk about the Sweetums or nutrition bars and treat yourself."
Treat yourself.
Yep. Those are good episodes.
Into the Shadows podcast just said a bunch of laughing, crying gifs. Emojis. Sorry.
Yeah, so before we go, Belinda, you want to tell us why Ron and Diane was your favorite episode?
I think it was mainly because it was the whole thing, like the whole situation. Like Ron being so different and he's enjoying, his like moment. It's like he said it's like the only event that he would consider going to. So like that just sparked like an interest in me. And then the whole Tammy too coming in, and she's just crazy. Like I've never seen a woman like this act like this before, and I see it on TV. I just thought it was just over the top. Mm-hmm. And then the other surprise I got on the same episode was Jerry's family, all the beautiful women. I was like, what? When did this happen? Like, his wife is gorgeous and all of his daughters are super beautiful. I'm like, what the heck is going on? Like that's all of that was like a lot just for one episode. Like it was everything combined.
I like how Ben looks at Chris and he's just like, yeah, I don't know. There's no logical explanation for it.
That's right. Because there isn't. I find it funny too, like at the end, like when, like I think it was the last episode of Parks and Recreation, and everybody's like aging or something. And I think they show Jerry, like pretty much I think he's gonna die, and all of his daughters and his wife the same, like they have not aged at all.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny.
Yeah, so that is pretty much it for the Parks and Rec episode. Belinda, thank you very much for being here again.
No problem. I love being here. You guys have an awesome podcast.
You can come back whenever you want.
Yep.
Okay.
The next episode, unless something changes, is going to be MASH.
Ugh.
Yeah. Kelly and
Sorry,
I know
I'm not
nothing.
looking forward to it.
Kelly and I know nothing about MASH. It's not that we don't like the show. We have never seen it. Not a single episode.
Yeah,
What's
we
it
don't
about?
know anything.
It's about, I'm pretty sure, the Vietnam War, but it's a comedy show.
Huh?
Yeah, it's about like nurses in the Vietnam War. We're
I've
gonna learn.
Seen it on the TV in the break room, but
Yeah.
I've never really paid attention to it.
So we're gonna learn. We are going to have our friend Jake on.
Woo!
So he is going to help us out because he actually knows the show.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see you all back here next time. Thanks for listening.
Bye.
To interact with us and have your responses read on the show, follow us on Facebook and Twitter at the Faves of Our L1 and join us on Patreon for bonus content and special merchandise at patreon.com/thefavesofoural1. That's the Faves of Our L and the number 1. You can also email us at thefavesofOurLives@gmail.com.